Why are you single? And I'm hopefully get a couple people to come on back. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. I was just sitting here, and next thing I know, it was just cutting me off. But hello, let's see. People will come. Hopefully they'll come. But as I was saying before in the beginning, we don't like to look at ourselves when it comes to wondering why we're single. Yes, I live in Atlanta, and the pickings are slim. And yes, my requirements, my standards are a little high for some, right? They are a little bit high. But two, there are things that I have to look at when it comes to me that why I am single. The one thing about it is, even though my standards are high, and they should be, please, ladies and gentlemen, do not let anybody make you feel as if you cannot have standards when it comes to dating. We are good for making people want to downplay or adjust themselves to us, or men or women. I'm not just going to say that. Adjust themselves to what we want them to be, so that we can be with somebody. The standards that you have are the standards that you have. Now understand, you can have standards to the point where you can't get anybody. Because sometimes we be way up here, and when we look at ourselves, we don't even fit our standards. And that's another reason why we're single. We don't even meet our standards. And so we expect somebody else to come and meet a standard that we don't even meet ourselves. So yes, have standards, but please make sure these standards make sense, if that makes sense. I know it does. So when I'm talking about why we're single, yes, we are super amazing in our minds, but there is something with us, like I said, that we are the common denominator among these failed relationships. Now, you'll be like, I've been the victim. I didn't do anything. Every time I get into a relationship, somebody cheats on me. Or every time something happens, they wind up leaving. Or A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. Okay, that could be true. And you could have been the victim each and every time. But why are you the victim? Why do these things continue to happen to you over and over and over again? Even being the victim, there's a part that we play in the situation. I was just told by Chanel, by Amanda, if I learn how to control my mouth. And certain men, and look, Chanel, let me say this. Certain men cannot take, whether it's aggressive or whether it's outspoken. Some men cannot take that. So you will never be able to deal with a man who can't deal with a woman who's outspoken. And that's another thing. We have to realize where we fit within the dating game. I'm aggressive too. Not aggressive, I'm outspoken, but I'm also the type of person who is a cut up. I love being in the public. I love to socialize. I like to talk. Some men do not like that. They like a quieter woman. I will never be the woman for a man who likes a quieter woman. That's just not who I am. So when I try to date men who like that type of thing, if they're quiet, if they're not social, if they don't like this and that, we will never work, because I will never be able to give them what they need. So those are the reasons why I'm saying, when you say you wonder why you're single, because again, you match yourself up with the wrong type of people. So it's not always necessarily that the person that you dated is a bad person. A lot of the times it's the fact that the person that you dated was a mismatch, and you continue to date people that you are not matched with, so you continue to get the same results, and then you start to think that it's a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the fact that you need to look at who you are and find the person who's compatible with you. Yes, you do. What? Yes, I do, Selwyn. Hi, Selwyn. Yes, I do. Hey, Q. So when we start talking about why we keep missing the mark, a lot of times it's us, and not us necessarily in a bad way, but us in the way that we're not paying attention to what it is that we need in order to make the mark stick. Okay. Again, me being who I am social to the core. I talk, I do this stuff. And I've dated people who don't like all that interaction. They don't like all that talk. I love sports. I am loud to death. I love my life. That's who I am. A quieter person or a more reserved person or a person who doesn't like to be put out there like that, it's going to be hard for them to date me because that's not who they are and that's not what they want and that's not the attention that they want. But I don't have to change because of that. I love me. There's somebody who loves me just for me. Now, there's some things I could adjust. I know I'm off the chain a tad bit, but that's not what has kept me from necessarily not having, for being single. It's the fact that I need to meet someone who likes who I am, what I do, the type of person that I am. So when people ask you why you're single, you do need to take the time and look at yourself and be like, yeah, I'm wonderful, but I've had like 7 breakups in the last 6 years. So what's the problem, right? So understand that even though you're the common denominator, you can fix what's going on. And when I say fix, it does not mean that you're the bad person and something's wrong with you. It just means you need to adjust some knobs, whether it's on your end or their end. Your mating game, your matchup game for one, that's the one thing. 2, if your standards are super duper crazy, if they're above and off the chain, right? The standards that you set for someone, do you meet those standards, right? Are you the type of person would you date you? If you looked at yourself and you ran yourself down a list and you listed your qualifications and who you are, would you date you? Are you okay with you? Are you complete? Do you like you? These are things you need to realize before you start dating and you get yourself in these situations and you keep getting all these failed relationships. And it's because there are some unanswered questions within you. So yes, I understand being offended when somebody asks you why you're single, but do look at it and be like, why am I single? And take the time out to adjust whatever those things are. Again, not that you're broken, but just your environment, the people you're around, the type of people you continue to attract. See, it is you that are attracting these people who ever use you or who abuses you or people who don't treat you right or people who tend to want to sponge off you. It is you that's attracting that energy. So there's an energy you need to look at within yourself and figure out, why do I continue to attract people who cheat on me or who don't like me for who I am or who just seem to take me for granted? That is you. That is your job to find out what it is, because there is somebody for you, but there's also some things you need to look at in yourself to figure out, damn, I'm 0 for 9 right now. In the last 8 years, I'm 0 for 9. I'm 0 for 9. You know what? In each relationship, you should have learned something. I had to think about this for me. So I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about for me. I know that I am super fantastic, wonderful, amazing, and any man would be lucky to have me, right? Of course I know that. But I also know that I come with some shit, okay? And so that shit, I have to be like, now, is this some shit that run people away? Or is this some things I need to kind of look at or find that could actually love my shit? Like, is there some things I need to look at? Is it so bad? Because I'm going to tell you, I have a tendency to attract people who need shit. And not necessarily, financial, just needs. Like, I attract strays. And not that they don't have nothing. It's just like there's always something that's broken. And I do that because I'm a fixer. I'm a lover. I'm a nurturer. And I give those things without any type of requirement. And so I have a tendency to attract people who have things that need to be fixed, but don't have anything to give back in return while I'm fixing them. So I always wind up on the empty side. I used to have a real confession. When people who have real big status, and I get approached by all types, like you wouldn't believe, like honestly, I promise you. And so sometimes it was when people had so much or was doing so much, I kind of was intimidated, per se, for lack of a better word, to date them because I felt like I had nothing to offer in that realm. Like they were already doing everything. What could they need from me? I couldn't fix them, right? That was the one thing that I'm good at doing and nurturing them. There was nothing I felt like I added until I realized I deserved to be taken care of and loved and nurtured as well. See, I had got used to not being nurtured and taken care of. I had gotten used to being the caretaker and being so strong that I didn't need anybody to take care of me, even though I did. See, I did need that, but I was okay with not getting and being satisfied with making sure the next person was okay. And then I'm left empty. And when they're full and I require them to give when I required them to give what I needed from them, they couldn't. And they felt away. And so they would leave, or we would break up, or whatever would happen. So I've learned it. Like, I've finally learned the lesson. And so I want this to be something that you guys learn. Learn the lesson. Understand the lesson and why your relationship doesn't stick and why you're single. It's not that it's a bad thing or that you're a bad person. So when somebody asks you the question, it's easy for us to get offended, but they don't got no business asking you the question either, really, because in true life, hell, they single too, or they wouldn't be in your face, right? Right. So my response is always, well, why are you single? Do we need to have a powwow about this or not? So I say all that to say that the question, why are you single, is not a bad question. People shouldn't ask you in a way that makes you feel bad or make you feel like, that you're not worthy or you're not doing something right or something's wrong with you, because that's not it. But take the time out to look at yourself and wonder what's going on, what could be adjusted in my life that I keep either attracting the same energy if I'm a victim or running the same people away. What's going on with me? Because in order to have a successful relationship, you have to mesh, right? It's not the duties and the things that you do for a person necessarily that's going to keep you there, because once you stop doing those things, then the person is going to be gone. You have to mesh, and you have to mesh in a way that your friends and you enjoy being around each other, and the characteristics that you have and the morals or whatever that you have is something that this person wants to have around them all the time. Okay. So let's start to look at ourselves differently. Don't be so offended, but ask yourself the question so that nobody does. What is going on that you're single? Are you single by choice in real life, or have you just given up and you're just going to do whatever you want to? And if you're single by choice, why are you single? I had somebody just say, because they've seen so much mess that they just refuse to even engage in that. Then why? Don't believe that there's not somebody good out there for you, male or female. There's some good men and there's some good women. There's some amazing people out there. Just remember to search the energy within you so that you don't fish in the wrong pond. You looking for trout, but you in the tilapia pond. You keep pulling out tilapia and you don't understand why you keep pulling out tilapia. Because you're in the wrong pond. You're sending out the wrong energy. Your bait keeps catching tilapia because you got tilapia bait. You want trout. Get trout bait. Whatever it takes to catch a trout, whatever it's going to do, that's what you want. Get that bait. But if you keep catching the wrong thing, there's some bait you are sending out that is catching the wrong thing. Okay. So don't be offended. I'm not. I got it. Like, I really got the light bulb. Like, I really, really got it. And it's so amazing when you got it, when you realize what it was that your part in staying single and relationships not working. Like, I got it. I got it. And so now that I got it, I'm excited to be able to change my bait. You know what I'm saying? And reroute my energy and accept certain things and put out certain things and be okay with me, because I love me some tea, honey. You can't tell me nothing about me. Fat rolls and all. When I'm thick, thin, or anything in between, I love me and I'm okay with that. And I need somebody who loves somebody that's just who I am. So if I'm looking for trout, no more tilapia bait or catfish bait, because I'm finna go get that trout, baby. All right, so it's been your girl, T. Marie. Please follow me, T. Marie, number 4 letter U. Go to my IG, follow me there, T. Marie, number 4 letter U. I love you guys to the moon. Keep watching. Keep supporting. You're amazing. It's your girl, T. Marie. Talk to you next time.